Hi, everybody. Welcome to Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. It is episode 275. 275 episodes. Who would ever thought? I'm only 25 away from 300. What happens then? I have no idea. It's the time to retire. Today's topic on December 15th, 2021 is having difficult conversations. When we are in, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. And I want to talk about this because it's the holidays and there's angst and there's always feelings going around the holidays. And then there's always confrontations and there's always hurt feelings. And especially if you're newly sober, you can't even be as sober as long as I am and still have it be difficult. I can tell you that. It's still sometimes difficult, and it's difficult to have conversations that are confrontational. It is hard, and it doesn't have to be confrontational. I should back that up and say it is hard to have conversations in that you have to be vulnerable and you have to speak your truth and you have to own who you are. It is so hard. It is so hard. And it happened to me this recently. I have this great relationship with this person, and I really, 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 really value my friendship with this person. And this person's on my board of governors. If you were going to say our lives that we have in this life are filled like just like a corporation, right? We have people on that we go to for certain things that we trust. And this person's way up there on my trust thing. But there had been things that this person said to me that were, I found to be hurtful. And I was like, so one conversation we had, and I'll just get into particulars. So one conversation we had, I was talking about how I am having a show. And I was having this show and I haven't had it yet. And I'm just in the planning stages of this show, but having a show with where I'm going to put my artwork out there. And I don't do my artwork to make money. Okay. I just don't. I do my artwork because I love it. And then people come into my house and they see it all and they're like, oh my God, I love this. I love that. Would you make me this? Would you make me that? And I'm not that kind of artist. I just do it because it's an outlet for me. I feel like it's like my needlepoint. I don't sell my needlepoint. It's my thing that I'm creative. It's like my little outlet when I'm feeling squirrely or I need to just mellow out. I paint. I paint. I don't paint knowing normally what I'm going to paint. I just see what comes up when I start painting. And normally it has to do with the sea or the beach because I live at the beach and I live on this island and there's so much stuff everywhere that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to paint that or paint that. But needless to say, let me digress. But I said, I'm going to have the show and she got upset. And it was a weird altercation. Have you ever had a weird altercation with a friend or a spouse? Or no, and not a spouse so much? Because I feel like spouses, siblings, you can kind of, at least I can be very like forthcoming with them. And I have no problem speaking my mind. I have no problem saying, this is bothering me. That's bothering me. Why is that? With our family and our friend, our family, our core family, we can say anything. Even sometimes it's hurtful and we say things and it's like, but we get away with it. But when it's somebody close to us, at least for me, I'm a runner. And obviously I'm not a runner. I don't physically run for anything. I mean, unless someone's chasing me. I did see somebody running yesterday and I thought, God, I wish I could do that. Look at her go. That's not me. So I run emotionally. So I either jump in or I run away. So there's no in between. I don't take the time to actually stop and feel my feelings because it hurts. It hurts. I tend to talk about it, what the hurt was, and can you believe that person said this to me? I go into that, right? And I'll talk to some of my other board members about it. They agree with me that what was said was hurtful. But instead of going back to the person and saying, you hurt my feelings. What you said to me really hurt my feelings. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want you to see that I'm vulnerable. I don't want you to see any of that. I want to just say, you know what? See you later. This person's not even worth it. I don't need to be friends with this person anymore. I don't need to have this person in my life. Not only that, but if somebody does it, that's a person that I really like, and they do it once, they do something hurtful once, that's strike one. And then they do something twice, that's strike two. By strike three, maybe strike two, I'm done with the person. I'm like, done. I have nothing to do with you anymore. You are done. I'm not having you on you are no longer in my phone or someone that I talk to anymore. And if I see you somewhere, I'll be definitely cordial, but I will not have you be in my inner circle anymore. And is that biting off my head in spite of my face or something? One of those, I don't even know that saying, but we have these times where we have people in our lives that we really like, and they say things that hurt us, and we don't know how to come back and talk to them. At least I don't. I don't know how to come back and say, this is how I really feel. It's not really my forte. I don't have that gift, and it's a problem. It happens in life because relationships with alcoholics, relationships are the worst. We have, at least for me, I have like relationships. I have had people in my life for my whole life. Some of them I talk to all the time. Some of them come into my life and then they leave and then they come back and then they leave and then they come back. But having difficult conversations where you're going to actually come forward and tell the person how you're really feeling is a tough thing to do. And I did it this week. I went to that place and I spoke my truth. Now, prior to speaking my truth, I talked to I got some advice from someone else that I also really respect. And I said, what would you do in this situation? And she said, well, you need to have talk to God. And I agreed with her. I needed to talk to God. I needed to say, pray and say, God, please give me the words and the strength to have this difficult conversation. Because again, difficult conversations are horrible. No one wants to have a difficult conversation unless you really are into if you're really into if you really are in touch with yourself, you can have conversations where you can speak what's really going on with you, and you can tell someone right there. It's taken me a long time. I've been sober for 15 and a half years, and I still find this is like one of the hardest things to do for me. It's having a place where I can own my voice. I'm 53 years old, and I still find it hard to sometimes go, this is my needs. That wasn't kosher, what you said to me or what you did to me. I've had so many relationships in my life dissolve and stop because of hurt feelings for me. I get hurt feelings and I get hurt and I leave and I don't ever talk to the person again. I've done that so many times. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. You're like, that person really hurt my feelings and I don't want to talk to them ever again. And the crazy thing is that at least for me, when you're drinking and you're in these things, you kind of just let it slip. I don't know, when you're drinking and you're like hungover and you're like, oh my God, that happened. And you just drink again and nothing. I guess we let bygones be bygones when we're drinking. At least I did. It was like nobody really confronted anybody. Nobody ever went to this place and said, you know what, I really screwed up last night, because 9 out of 10 times I didn't remember what I did the night before. So if I hurt you the night before, I'm sorry, but I don't remember what I did. Ha, 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 ha. I was drunk. But then when we're sober, we're like, shit, I don't have that to fall back on. I don't have the ability to say, oh, sorry, I was drunk last night. Or were you drunk last night? No, it's not like that anymore. And it's been a challenge, and it's been so hard. It has been relationships, hard. And relationships for me with other women is even the hardest. I'm not blaming it on my family and I'm not blaming it on my mother, but it's just women and I don't know. And I think it's common. I think it's common that women have more problems with having relationships with women. I hear it all the time. I hear women say all the time, oh, I get along much better with men. And I don't get, women, no, not so much. And I don't know if it's because I have thin skin, if I really want these people to like me no matter what, and I'm going to put all of my feelings aside for these because I put these women above me or below me. I don't know exactly what has caused me to be this way, but having that, like women, it's interesting. I feel like with women, when we get dressed to go out, I think we dress for other women. I don't think we dress for men because 9 out of 10 times men do not really care. They don't care what we wear. I have sons. I know that. I have a husband. They're like, yeah, that's cute. That's cute. They want us to just be happy. It's really what they want. They want us to be happy and pay attention to them. But when it comes to getting dressed, we want other women to think that we look good. It's very weird. It's very weird, I think, a weird dichotomy and how we treat other women. And it's interesting. I've noticed that there's this whole thing on Instagram right now about support your fellow woman, support your fellow woman. Look, I'm not out there to get you. And it's on like, I think it's on TikTok or something like that, but I've seen it in the reels when I get myself stuck in that reels thing, which everybody knows I hate social media. So I try very desperately not to go there. But when I do, I've noticed these very attractive young women are all saying, I want to be friends with other women. I want to be friends with other women. And don't worry, we're friends. We can be friends now. And I find it so interesting because it comes back to what I've been talking about. It's like women with other women, it's hard to be vulnerable, I think. And I don't know if it's because it stems from the mother-daughter relationship or where it comes from. But when we have these hard relationships and these places to come to with other women, instead of just bailing, what if we put all of our preconceived notions away? What if we went and we were, I don't want to say vulnerable, let's say authentic. What if we were our authentic selves all the time? What if we, instead of being chameleons, I've heard more than once that people, when they started drinking, they wanted to be with the cool crowd, right? Or they were doing drugs. They're like, I want to be with the cool crowd. Now, this cool crowd was not really what you really on the inside wanted to be like, but they were cool and you really wanted to be cool. So you're like, I'm going to put down all of my morals and the stuff inside of me that I know to be right and true because I want to be cool. Okay. I'm going to be a chameleon. I'm going to change from who I am really on the inside to be something that these people will like and accept on the outside. So I'm going to start doing these things that really aren't authentic to me. And we start this at a young age. I think that we start this in middle school. Then we go and we see different types of people. We want to try different things. And we see these groups that look appealing on the outside, right? They look like they're cool. They're having fun. I want to do what they do. Then they initiate, drinking or smoking or whatever it is. That's what happened to me. And I hung out with the cool crowd. I was walking around with like Laura Ashley with humongous collars on, these huge like dresses that your mom would dress you in when you were a little kid. At least my mom would dress me in, and very conservative, nothing revealing whatsoever. I mean, I didn't even get my ears pierced till I was 16. So, it was nothing revealing or sexual or anything like that. But I wanted to be like these other people because they were having fun. They had this group that looked so appealing, but I lost my authentic self. And when I started to drink, I lost my authentic self. I couldn't be who I really was, which is a total dork. I'm a total dork in real life. I love kid things still. I love Tinkerbell. My house looks like Santa Claus threw up on it. I'm not kidding. But getting to that place that I'm authentically who I am, and it's not about whether or not you like me or not, but me being true to me is where I've found peace right now. So circling back to these conversations that we have to have, I prayed before I had this conversation with this person. And I said, I'm to God, please just give me the words and the strength. And I said the Serenity Prayer, which is God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And God, please have me see what you want me to see and speak through me. And I went and I made this call and I spoke my truth and told this person how I was feeling. And the way it was received, and I don't know if it would be received like this with everyone, because this person is a very amazing person. She's just like very, very special person. She's very amazing woman. And she took it with such grace and dignity and spoke to me and listened to me and heard me. And then gave me peace. And we went back and forth and we talked and we communicated and we heard each other. And I think that so many times when we go to that place, because it's all fear, right? It's fear you're not going to like me, fear I'm not going to be accepted, fear I'm going to be a loser, fear life's going to spin out of control, I'm going to be all by myself and everybody's going to know the truth that I'm a loser. I think that's what is at the core of all of us, especially as addicts, because we know on the inside we've got this defect, right? We've got this major defect. We cannot ever, we're a drug addict or an alcoholic. I can't have drugs. You're going to know that about me. You're going to know about my past and what I've done in my past, which is it's pretty colorful. And getting to that place where you're like, you know what, I've done things I'm not proud of. But everybody has. Everybody's done things they're not proud of. I don't care who it is. Everybody walking on this planet has. No one comes through this thing unscathed. So taking that and realizing in our egos that we do not, what we've done is not that bad. And today we can forgive ourselves. Just today we can forgive ourselves, because all we are doing is living in today. And if we can get to these places that we're authentic and be like, yes, that's part of my story. That's part of me. I tell people all the time, I earned my wrinkles. I earned my stories. All the things that have happened in my life, I don't regret. There's things I regret. There's things I wish were different, but it is what it is. God wanted it to happen that way. So where I am today is like, you know what? This is the way life is. This is the way. I don't want to carry yesterday with me anymore. It already happened. I can't go back and change. All I can change is what I'm doing going forward. So moving forward, being able to go back to that girl that when she was young was authentic and laughing and crazy and all this silly stuff that I've always been inside of me. It's embracing that silly stuff and saying, this is part of me. I am who I am, and I'm many things. I think as human beings, we don't fit in boxes. I said to my son the other day, I'm like, you don't fit in a box. We need to be like we're all like many things, many different things. Artist, mom. I mean, I could say I'm a laundress. I am a domestic goddess. I am, I'm a worker amongst workers. I am a shopaholic. I am an alcoholic. I'm many things, but that doesn't define who I am. It's my heart and my soul, and getting to that place of your soul, of being authentic with you, doing what is right for you on the inside so that you feel heard and you feel that love, because we're all given these major gifts. I was talking to somebody the other day and she's like, well, this person's different than me and this person's different than me and they think it this way and they got this, I'm just going to call it out as it is. Somebody's like, oh, this person's got the shot, this person doesn't have the shot, and I want to judge this person because they have the shot and this person doesn't have a shot. You know what? Everybody's allowed to do what they want to do. Boo boo. We live in a free country. Last I checked, I don't know how much longer it's going to be free, but we're in a free country right now. And, I think respecting each other and hearing our own hearts. And if we want somebody to do something that we did, it's from our fear. We're like, well, we want you to be like us. I did this, so you do it too. Because no science says anything. So I don't know, whatever you want to do. I want everybody to do whatever they want to do, because can I tell you, if we were all the same, walking around in a uniform, It scares the shit out of me when I think about it. But when you see people that are all walking around in the same uniform, okay? The only thing I can think of is Kanye West. He has those videos where everybody's wearing the same ugly brown outfit. I'm like, ooh, don't we all want to be different? That's what makes life interesting. Life, Richard Scarry's all about interesting, like everybody was different in those books. Everybody's allowed to be who they want to be. If you want to have purple hair, pink hair, whatever you want to do, go for it. If you want to have blonde hair, if you want to have brown hair, if you want to wear whatever you want to wear so that you feel like you're your authentic you, do it. Take care of you. We're not in this to be like everybody else. Last I checked, it's kind of cool. I have to tell you, I love to hear other people's views than mine because do you know what? It makes me smarter and it makes me grow and it makes me closer to you because then I get to understand where you're coming from. Does that mean I have to convince you to be like me? No. Does that mean that you have to convince me to be like you? No. We have to respect each other. And we have to say, you know what? It's cool that they think that way. That's how they think. God gave us all these brains that are different and we get to see things and we get to deceive things. We get to decipher things differently. And especially when we're sober, because when we're drinking or on drugs, we definitely tend to be more of that packed person. We go with that person and we do these things that really don't, and at the end of the day, aren't good for us. So when we get sober and it says, get a whole new set of everything, do it. Take care of you. Figure out what makes you tick. What makes you authentic? Maybe you like having bananas and, I don't know, bacon, or maybe you like bananas and peanut butter, or maybe you hate bananas. Isn't that okay? Last I checked, it's okay. We all get to be who we want to be, and having tough conversations are so much easier if we like who we are. If we like who we are on the inside and we can stand by that, and we know in our hearts that we're good people and that we might differ in somebody else's opinion, and it's okay to say, you know what, you hurt my feelings. And this is what I heard you say. And it didn't sit well with me. And I think when we do that, not only does it come to a resolution quicker, it gets you closer to the person because, and I don't want to say we're more intimate because I don't want to think intimacy in terms of sexual, but intimacy as intimate with a friend. Because now you've let your guard down and you've said, I'm going to trust this person enough that they're not going to hurt me. I'm going to tell them my truth and I'm going to trust that everything's going to be okay. Not every time is it going to be okay though. You are going to lose friends. I still have friends that I definitely will not do this with. I will not communicate with. It's better to go radio silent because every time I talk to them, it seems to get kind of heated. And if it gets heated, I don't want to do that. But if it's someone that's willing to actually sit down and listen to you, oh my God, it's freeing. It's so freeing. But life and having confrontation and having relationships is so hard. It's so hard. But if you haven't picked up a drink today yet, give yourself a round of applause. Realize you don't have to do this by yourself. You can reach out to me anytime at Bizzy, Bizzy, at BizzyLivingSober.com, or you can reach me at Elizabeth@ElizabethChance.com. But really know that you're not alone. And just finding your authentic self is so important today. And we're in this holiday season. Remember, have a plan, have a drink. I told you, somebody told me that they mix jalapenos in their Pellegrino with a lemon or a lime and then a jalapeno and a little bit of red stuff. Oh my God, it would be a fabulous drink. And it looks festive. Find something to drink. Do not pick up your drink this holiday season because your authentic you doesn't want you to drink anyway. Your authentic you wants you to stay sober. Your authentic you doesn't want to wake up in the morning anymore hating yourself. It doesn't. Now talk to a doctor. If you're a daily drinker, you need to speak to a doctor before you quit drinking. Speak to your doctor. And any questions, comments, concerns, again, reach out to me at Elizabeth@ElizabethChance.com. And until next time, keep getting busy, living sober. Bye-bye.